It's your job to antagonize me?
No, to take down the signs.
That's what you do all day?
Actually, I take down the station.
How awful for you.
I was also told to take down any unauthorized postings.
Pity you take part in such a monumental act of vandalism.
Just a job.
I'm sure. Why the camera?
Photograph monumental acts of vandalism.
Well, you've come to the right place.
I work in the right place.
What are you photographing exactly?
The station.
What in the station?
Anything?
Well, anything's a big thing here.
And whatever looks good on film.
Is this for posterity?
Sure.
That sounds so interesting.
Actually, my wife said to do it.
Really?
Yeah, she thought it was a good idea.
Is she an admirer of the station?
She likes it all right.
How wonderful of you to demolish it for her.
She also likes a roof over her head.
Oh, so while destroying the thing she loves, you're also capturing it for her?
Something like that.
That's thoughtful of you. You must know the station pretty well since you're here hacking it to bits.
I knew it well before the job. I don't live too far away.
Oh, neither do I.
I take the IRT from here.
Well, I take the BMT, but we're practically brothers. Are you good at taking photographs, or is this just a hobby of yours?
Hopefully a career someday.
Oh, so taking down a landmark building is just a day job?
Look, buddy, I am not responsible for destroying the station. I am just doing a job to support my
Do
family.
you support the sentiment?
What sentiment?
The sentiment behind the demolition.
Oh, it needs to be done, so I do it.
Do you care about this building?
No.
That's obvious.
No, it's obvious you have a beef with the suits upstairs and you're blaming me. Guess what? My heart won't bleed for you. I've seen you people
You
around
people?
here. Yeah, you're part of that group,
Yes,
aren't you?
Agony. Action Group for Better Architecture in New York.
Yeah, you people need to find something better to do with your time.
We are educated professionals concerned about a city who chooses to demolish one of its architectural
The
treasures.
city's not destroying the station. You want to save it? Buy it.
Oh, it's always about the money, isn't it?
Makes the world go round, buddy.
What about art, culture, literature?
That has nothing to do with the train station.
Oh, no?
No.
Have you seen the opera Tannhäuser by Richard Wagner?
I've never seen an
Heard.
opera. Pieces of something. I don't know. I think it was Italian.
No, this is a German work. It's robust and it's strong.
Never heard of it.
Really is quite amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, look, buddy. I'd
Look
like
at
to say...
this waiting room.
What about it?
That ceiling.
Uh-huh.
It's 147 feet between the ceiling and solid ground.
Okay.
For mortals like us, that's almost an eternity.
Weren't you talking opera?
No, I was talking about the ceiling. Can you find words to describe this room, this station as a whole?
Large.
Do better than that. Stretch that sterling vocabulary you've demonstrated thus far.
Who the hell are you?
Words, sir. Are there any other words you could use?
Very large.
Grandiose?
Sure.
Majestic?
Why not?
If I were from another country and I didn't speak your language...
You don't.
Humor? Fine. I don't understand you. You don't understand me. How best would you express this room to me?
By showing you a picture.
Oh, that's cheating.
No, that's what I do.
You're substituting images for words.
Why use words when you can see the actual room?
What if you didn't have your picture with you?
I wouldn't have this conversation with you.
Come on, play along, be a sport. I do have a perfectly good point to make. Come on.
All right, all right. I tell that person to go and see it for themselves.
But what if your child came up to you and said, Daddy, what did Pennsylvania Station look like? Let's assume you've lost your pictures and now it's perfectly clear. It will no longer be available for an actual viewing. What would you do?
Just tell me.
Music! Tannhäuser! This entire room is actualized in sound. I mean, just play the overture. A room 150 feet tall and 280 feet wide is locked in the first 5 minutes of the opera. The cement and marble of the floors lay in the opening bars. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, the clarinets and the bassoons in counterpoint to the trombones and the French horns, all in their lowest registers, somber, solid, flat, like a floor. Tra, tra, the strings come in. Tra, tra. They're long, flowing melodies mimicking the fluid, vertical columns, and it builds. Bum, bum. It builds. Bum, bum. We go further and further up the walls till we reach the majestic blast of the ceiling. Bum, bum. Full orchestra. Now we have the enormity we need. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 ba, ba, bum. Bum, brum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Ba, 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 bum. Ba, bum, ba, 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 bum. Ba, bum. Ba, bum, 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 bum. Brum, bum, brum, bum. Tannhäuser!
What if you don't have the music?
Well, if my singing doesn't convince you, then there's nothing to accurately describe this marvel we stand in then.
Being here?
Yes, being here.
Yeah, well, as fun as this has been.
Perhaps we've stumbled upon something with your photographs.
Look, pal, I got work to do.
Oh, of course, taking up enough of your time.
Oh, hey, do me a favor, huh? Please, stop hanging up the damn signs. I don't feel like going over the whole goddamn station and taking them down.
Well, I assume if you're here, it's too late anyway. You people are taking down the eagles as we speak.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Yes, clearly my bubble has burst.
So you agree?
To what?
I asked you to stop hanging up the signs.
Oh, yes, you asked, but I never agreed.
Well, agree quickly before I have you thrown out of here.
You don't have that kind of authority.
I can find
There's
it.
no reason to bully.
You make my job a pain in the ass. That's reason enough for me.
I think just doing your job is torture enough.
It doesn't bother me.
Because it's a building?
Yeah.
Just granite and cement?
Exactly.
With blackened walls and busted vending machines?
Yes. Go.
Then you're quite a simple man.
I like things simple. It doesn't make me stupid.
But it stops you from feeling.
Feeling what?
Or inspiration.
Attachment?
Yes.
To grimy buildings?
Prevents you from seeing nothing but a soot-covered edifice.
Well, it's easier to see it for what it is, an old shitty building.
No. When I'm here, I see something that stands in dignity. That light that shines straight through the floor, it's like God himself comes through those windows and stretches his way down to the concourse to mix with his creations. The thousands who come through in the course of a day. Why take that away from people?
Because most people don't see that.
No, they see something that's dirty and they want something that's shiny.
Newer.
People like you.
Yeah.
Oh, what does it matter? Wheels are in motion.
And your signs aren't going to stop them. So don't hang them up.
Well, I tried. Good day to you, sir. Good luck with your photos.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
It's 12 noon on this rainy Monday, October 28, 1963. Among our top stories, demolition crews showed up at the 33rd Street entrance to Pennsylvania Station this morning. Their job, begin dismantling the 53-year-old station to make way for a proposed 26-story office building and 50,000-seat sports arena. Crews estimate it will take 3 years to fully break down the massive structure. New York Times architectural critic Ada Louise Huxtable writes, "Any city gets what it admires, will pay for, and ultimately deserves. Even when we had Penn Station, we couldn't afford to keep it clean. We want and deserve tin can architecture and a tin horn culture. And we will probably be judged not by the monuments we build, but by those we have destroyed."
Son of a bitch!
Ah, the pile-driving photographer. Welcome back.
What the hell is your problem?
Need we start the list?
I asked you to stop a month ago. This is bullshit.
Language.
I want you and your goddamn posters out of here.
Does it bother you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's more work for me.
Oh, please, you're not single-handedly dismantling the station. There are other workers who can rip down my posters.
Yeah, well, I'm usually the one who gets stuck with the job.
Oh, it must take you all of 5 minutes.
It's not the time. We have to be able to see our targets.
Targets? What does that mean? Is that some war game you demolition men play?
No, it's very precise. If we don't take down each section of this station in a certain order, we could lose whole chunks at once.
I don't understand how do my posters interfere.
See that?
Yes?
Your pretty poster is covering up tomorrow's target. Which means when the crew comes over here, they're gonna skip this target and they're gonna go to the next one, which is 50 feet in that direction. If If they hit that one first, guess what happens?
I can't imagine.
We lose that entire staircase and the people on
Oh,
it.
my!
Yeah, oh my! So cut the shit and go save another train station.
When the need arises, I'll go.
You're the only nut still doing this.
You'll have to cart me out with the last piece of marble. Till then, the world will hear my protest.
No one is listening to you.
You are.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to ignore you. I don't have time for head cases.
How's the project?
What project?
The photos you were taking.
What do you care?
I'm very interested. I've been tracking you.
Have?
Yeah, very closely.
I never noticed you.
I didn't want to bother you.
Well, you are now.
Come now, I'm fascinated by your process. I don't get to spend time around your kind of equipment.
Jackhammers?
Cameras.
Oh. I mean, hey, that's simple. You know, you just point and shoot.
Oh, no, it's much more than that.
Yeah, but I'm not getting into it with you.
Can I ask, I mean, if you don't mind, is there a particular theme you focus on? I mean, I'm just curious.
The theme?
Don't you photographers have a recurring theme to your projects, a motif, if you will?
Wait.
Yes?
Wait, all this was to get my attention?
Oh, don't flatter yourself.
No, you wanted to talk to me, so you did all this. You're sick, buddy.
Oh, I'm a curious mind.
No, you're a sick mind. I'd rather you just come up to me and ask. No, better yet, I'd rather you just buzz off and leave me the hell alone.
That is not very nice.
But all this, just to see how the photos are coming?
Well, what's your motif, your theme, your focus?
I told you, I don't have one. I'm just taking pictures.
That's all.
Yeah. Just killing time while I work at the site.
Yeah, but what about that ticket counter?
What about it?
You just stare at it, I've seen you.
So,
I know it's a hideous piece of modernity, all fluorescent and intrusive.
modernity?
But you never snap a picture of that thing.
I mean, it doesn't photograph well.
It's wretched.
Look, it doesn't fit in the room.
Kind of astute eye.
You a professor or something?
Oh, I'm an English teacher.
That's obvious.
How so?
You're a walking dictionary.
Have I defined any words for you?
How many people you know use the words modernity and motif?
Many. I'm an English teacher.
Yeah. We'll take a survey of the guys on my shift. Who was that German you were talking about?
German.
But the opera?
Tannhäuser.
Yeah. Ask how many of them know who Tannhäuser is. They'll tell you he was just some kraut they killed in the war.
So because I listen to opera, that categorizes me as an educator?
It's the way you talk.
How do I talk, sir?
Like my old English teachers.
I like to consider myself a master of my language.
I find a quicker way to get to the point.
That's a nasty bar. Telling an English teacher he needs to find a better way to express
No,
himself?
no, I didn't say better. I said quicker.
Are you in a rush?
Yeah, I'm going on my lunch break.
Then we have time for sophisticated banter.
I'm not a fan of sophisticated banter while I eat. It gives me gas.
Brutally clever.
I mean, aren't you supposed to be in school? It's Friday.
Called in a personal day. Young gentleman I teach will have to go on without me.
You're playing hooky from work just to hang up signs and piss me off?
To protest?
I think you need to give it up and go back
I
to teaching.
have my reasons.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to shop
Joseph
around here.
Lanzarone. I thought perhaps a nicety.
Paul Abbott, stop hanging up the damn signs and stop watching me. How's that for nice?
It's a start, and I'll try.
No. Do, Professor. Am I entertaining enough? talking, huh? Just watching. Eh, Professor? That's all right. I think you talk too much anyway.
That's an awful thing to say to somebody you don't really know.
Not as awful as being watched all the damn time.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
When I'm in the area. You seem frustrated by me.
I am.
At least you're honest.
Haven't seen any of your signs in the past couple months.
Yeah, no sporting that anymore. No one's paying attention. I've taken to writing letters.
Long ones, I'm sure.
Very long.
Surprised I haven't gotten one.
You think I'm crazy?
Yeah, but the city's full of nuts.
I'm not a deranged vagrant, Mr. Abbott.
You remembered my name?
Yes. Do you remember mine?
Crazy Professor.
Honestly.
Nah, I forgot.
I thought you might.
I think it started with a J.
Joseph.
If you say so.
That's insulting.
Goodbye, Joseph.
But we're just getting started. Where are you going?
Not me, you.
Me? Where am I going?
Wherever it is you go this early in the morning.
But I just arrived.
Yes, and now you're leaving because I came here to get this shot and I'm not leaving.
What shot?
I'm here for the sunrise through the waiting room windows, and you're not going to make me miss it by chewing my ear off about some opera, so go.
No, you were going to take a picture of that ticket counter.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Well, I'm not now. This is set up for the sunrise shot.
What about the small camera around your neck?
What about it?
Why can't you take a picture of that thing?
Professor?
Joseph.
Joe?
Not Joe.
Joey?
That's the worst one.
I'm very sorry you think we're friends. I'm very sorry you have some twisted obsession with me. I'm even more sorry that I ever stopped to have a
So
conversation with you,
abrasive.
but it all stops now. Because standing in Penn Station at 6 a.m. in the morning talking to a stranger who follows me around for sport is fucking crazy.
The language, Mr. Abbott, please.
I can say whatever the hell I want. Stop
there
being
are
such a
proper ways of
goddamn
addressing
teacher.
you.
Shut up! And good goddamn night. Or morning. Leave!
No. You're not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Joey, do you know why I come here at this hour?
Because it's very quiet.
Because it's the only time you're not here.
You would just tell me I would leave you alone. Why are you taking these photos?
I thought we went over all
The
this.
real reason. Don't say your wife. You loathe this station so much. Why do you meticulously document its destruction? I've been watching you. There isn't a crevice you haven't snapped.
You want to know so bad?
Yes.
Then you answer first.
Well, why I'm here.
Yeah. Why the psychopathic love affair with this old company?
It's a beautiful piece of architecture.
Bullshit. Why else?
That's not a good enough reason?
No. Not even architects are this crazy about architecture.
Oh. This building has very much been a part of my life. I used to work here.
Really?
I was a baggage boy for the Pennsylvania Railroad. I started in high school. Ooh. Oh, what a sight to behold. That's when you could really hear Wagner bouncing off these walls. Bum, bum, bum. No. I mean, the granite was a clean pink, and the walls, they were a spotless white. Every globe on every light was pristine. I mean, you thought you were in Rome. Gotta remember, when I worked here, the newfangled horseless carriage hadn't caught on yet. Soot didn't stick to the buildings like it does today.
They had people carry your bags here.
Of course! Carry the baggage from the trains to the cabs.
The passengers?
Mr. Abbott, those days the elite traveled the rails, and the elite expected to be waited on. A baggage handler was a standard luxury of any fine train station.
Yeah, I never ran in those circles.
Yeah, they stopped using them about 15 years ago.
Why? Rich folks don't need their bags carried these days?
Oh, now the rich fly.
Ah, you're bitter.
They're about what?
Planes beating out trains.
Trains still run, Mr. Abbott.
Yeah, but not like they used to.
Cars and planes have not run them into extinction yet.
Trains are good for grumpy commuters and antique snobs.
And planes are good for crashing and making a dreadful amount of noise.
Jesus Christ, I say black, you say white, huh?
Have you know I'm a great champion of the Socratic method. I mean, I could go on like this for hours.
Yeah, that would be torture.
Oh, but you're quite the blowhard yourself, Mr. Abbott. We could stand at two ends of the earth for decades and never meet in the middle. Eventually, one of us will have to acquiesce.
What the hell does all that mean?
It means give up.
I know what acquiesce means. I'm not a total dunce. I mean, all that other garbage you were going on about.
It means debate. We're sparring. Go ahead. Ask your next question. That's what Socrates would have wanted.
When did you stop working here, Professor Crackerjacks?
Right before the war.
Which one?
I'm old, but I'm not that old. Second World War. I was too young for World War I. Plus, I had a heart arrhythmia, so no service for me. My duty was to stay here and educate eager young minds. I carried bags to pay for my education.
Bother you?
Not going off to fight.
Yeah.
Mr. Abbott, when one studies verse his whole life, war might seem a bit out of character. Plus, I was well into my 30s when we entered World War II.
So?
That bothers you?
Why would it bother me?
You don't appreciate my answer.
Most men in this country wanted to do their part for the war, no matter how old they were.
I did more than my fair share.
How?
I gave the war something.
Oh, what? You write poetry for the troops?
My brother. My younger brother. Immediately after Pearl Harbor, he signed up for the Navy. Amazing how perfect he seems in death. If he were still alive today, I would tell you he was selfish, lazy, horrible womanizer. Probably had a bastard in every borough.
You never came back?
No. Killed at Midway. Whole ship lost. And we sent him out right about now. Right after the holidays, out through this station. Oh, we took a car here. My mother cried the whole way. My father, he sat silently, holding back the urge to cry. He never did in front of us until the day we were notified of John's death. Well, that's his name. It's a biblical one, like all Italian boys have. My parents wouldn't come into the station. They refused to have a long goodbye, but I had to. Couldn't pretend this was a trip he'd be returning from in a month. I needed to see him right to his train. I carried his bags. I walked into a Penn Station unknown to me. I had worked on Mount Olympus, Depot of the Gods, but that day it was completely different, older and tired. The main waiting room had this huge war bond mural anchored to the wall, enormous faces of soldiers looking down upon people. The station I knew had become a military processing center. The floors and the stairs were crowded with these young men, each handing in their soul for a train ticket they were given. They didn't cry, they didn't laugh, hell, they didn't even talk. Brother begged me to stay until his train left. So I sent my parents home, told them I wouldn't return. So Johnny was off. We sat not far from here for about 5 hours. I mean, we talked. You know, nothing special, just talk. Slowly that smile that I loved so much just became a wrinkle under his nose. His eyes grew tired and the light went right out of his face. Right before me, he passed away. Even though his body lived on, he was dead on that bench. When his train came in, we stood awkwardly and embraced. He must have wept for 2 full minutes without speaking. He wept for his own passing. I gnashed on my lip and told him lies about seeing him soon. This is where I buried him. When we received the telegram that he was lost at sea, I just came down to the concourse and I laid down some flowers. You know, we all breathe the same air when we're here. It gets passed along from one to another. I thought his might still be circulating. Maybe I could get a breath of it. Maybe it had given life to someone else. But Johnny was somewhere in here. His footprints were on the floor. His soul saturated the bench that we sat on. And in a place where so many journeys began, his ended here, in this station.
Shit.
Yes, shit. That's what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the scatology was adequate. I like the way you summed it up. Shit. It's the essence of every denouement.
Every what?
Look it up. Oh, you're shot. You're shot. Here it is. Enjoy it while the windows are still here to catch it. How many people can say they've seen the sunrise in Pennsylvania Station? Good morning. Good afternoon, Mr.
God,
Rabbit!
you scared the shit out of me.
Well, I was here first, so if you're bothered by my existence, go somewhere else. I'm not moving.
Not today.
What
How
makes
the hell did
today-
you get back here?
With the 2 legs that God gave me.
And nobody stopped you?
Anybody stop you?
I work here.
Not today. Today's Saturday. Besides, I work here as well.
No, you don't.
With the last piece of granite, Mr. Abbott, I'm a man of my word.
I mean, I can't believe they just let you through. Can you please just get the hell out of here?
You're more prickly than usual this afternoon.
I should show you what prickly really means, but then they'd have me locked up for manslaughter.
Show some maturity, Mr. Abbott. No need for violence. I'll sit here quietly. Just pretend like I'm not here.
No, I would prefer if you just leave. Please, isn't there any other part of this goddamn station you can go and park your ass on and read?
No, I want to be here. Anywhere else you could go?
No, I have to be here.
So do I.
Why? Why do you have to be here today, right now?
Today's the day they're taking the last of that disgusting ticket counter out to be scrapped. It's the only piece of this station I relish to see go, and I intend to be here to witness it.
How do you know that? No one knows that.
I have my ways. But why do you need to be here?
No! No! We are not doing this! You have to sit there. I will have to ignore you. Get my shots, and I'll go.
Go right ahead.
Fine. What?
I didn't say anything.
God, I wish you would just get the hell out of here.
What am I doing?
You're freaking me out.
Oh, I don't think I'm the problem.
You're always the problem.
No, you can't take a picture of that ticket counter. Even in a heap of twisted metal, you cannot snap that thing.
The light's not good in here right now.
It looks good to me.
It's too dark.
Really?
What about that thing gets you so hot and bothered?
That thing was like a cancer. A stain on this place and a treason to its architects. Who in their right mind could think that modern-looking nonsense could work here? What stupidity! How could they not realize that when you kill your host in the end, you both die? A cancer! So there it is. It's only 8 years old, dead and broken, and I want to see them bury it. What confuses me is why you have so much trouble with it.
Who cares? God, you drive me crazy with your bullshit. You know there are people in this world that do more than just read books and talk shit to death. People that work their lives down to nothing just to support their families. Men who die thousands of miles away from home so that you could stand there and have the freedom to be an asshole. So that I can stand here, waste my time taking these photos for what? I'm done. Can't do this anymore.
Don't you revel in this?
In what? Wasting my time in a shithole?
Bearing witness to the destruction of a great landmark. Isn't that your dream?
No, it's not right. I just can't do this anymore. I can't take these photos.
Perhaps penance for destroying your subject.
I mean, honestly, who the hell cares about any of this?
An entire generation will stand to learn from the colossal mistake that we're making?
No, Joey, entire generations of people will never even know this place existed.
That's exactly why you need to take those photos.
Not me. I don't have it in me. Let somebody else do it.
That, my friend, is one big cop-out.
Go to hell!
For You're already here.
You know, I was telling my wife about you. She said you sounded interesting.
Smart woman.
You got a wife?
No, never married.
Huh?
Wife is something I admire about other people.
They're a pain in the ass.
So I've heard.
So where do you teach?
Are we making small talk now?
You're an English teacher, aren't you? Where do you teach? She asked. Frankly, I could give a shit.
How pleasant. Well, you can tell your wife that I teach British and American literature to young men at a Jesuit high school.
Oh, Regis or Xavier?
Xavier, you know it?
I almost went there.
What happened?
My mother couldn't afford it.
Oh, it's not cheap.
Oh, but it's a damn good school.
I went there.
Yeah?
Class of 17.
You teach novels and poetry and all that?
Yeah, yesterday I lectured on poetry.
I hate poetry.
T.S. Eliot?
Especially T.S. Eliot.
Why? He agrees with you. We are the hollow men. We are the stuffed men. Our dried voices, when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless.
You have it memorized.
In college, we had to. Well, we wanted to.
I doubt all of you did.
Not all, but I did. I lectured on Journey of the Magi, written 5 years later during one of Eliot's many religious phases.
That's so
Cold
interesting.
coming, he had it.
Okay,
Such
stop
a
it,
wonderful
Joey.
poem.
Please stop. Poetry is all bullshit.
Well, that's your opinion. But let's not talk poetry. Let's talk about your photos.
Nothing to talk about. I was taking pictures, now I'm not. This never really was my thing anyway.
Your thing?
This isn't what I normally photograph.
Well, what's your milieu?
My what?
Your preferred subject matter?
Art.
Really?
Not the art you're thinking of. Installation. Avant-garde art. People functioning as art. Twyla Tharp, Judson Church. Downtown stuff. The art and the artist are simple.
In their presentation?
Yeah.
In their meaning?
Well, there is no meaning.
I see.
Just the image to look
Yeah,
at.
I've heard about this movement.
And you don't like it.
Of course not. What does this art have to offer?
Simplicity.
Define simplicity.
The artists are the art. You see it in that moment, then it's gone.
What do they do?
Anything they want, there are no rules.
Well, what do you look at?
Whatever's going on in that moment.
How's it supposed to mean anything if it doesn't last?
It's not supposed to mean anything. It's supposed to be experienced.
I call shenanigans on all of it.
It's the future of art!
How bleak a future we have to look forward to.
Do you ever even entertain the possibility of being wrong?
About what?
About everything. That modern isn't evil? That progress is actually a good thing? You ever stop to think that spending most of your time jerking off to the past and bitching about the future is a waste? Let me ask you something. Why waste time trying to save the past when we can barely hold down the present? No answer to that, huh, Professor?
Your avant-garde movement is a repercussion of war.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
just like
Here
the
we
Magi.
go. Joey,
We return to our places, our kingdoms, with alien people clutching their gods.
how the hell does that relate to anything?
Your generation is trying to make sense of growing up during wartime. People have lost their appreciation of anything that's come before. History is an attachment, it's a sentiment, something to lose when war comes back, something to miss that could be taken away. So just give us the new and the mass-produced, and who could blame them? When a bomb can level whole cities in a matter of moments, why care about the largest and most beautiful train station in the world? Why not replace it for a cement flying saucer, for a sports arena?
Think of the jobs this project created. That's what's important now. The age of finding meaning in everything is over,
When
buddy.
we stop noticing the everyday wonders around us, we lose our history. We lose sight of who we are.
History is a cycle. Someday they're going to put up something new, right? Something you and I find unfamiliar. And when it comes time to tear that down, people are going to argue the value of old and new all over again. They're going to turn around and they're going to go, oh shit, it's gone. And then something new is going to come to replace it.
It's not the same.
It's all the same.
It's like I'm talking to a bulldozer.
That could be arranged.
Well, I'm still very, very interested in...
Yeah, I know, my process.
Yes.
And how can this be interesting to you?
Well, I know nothing about it, so it intrigues me.
So what? You want to try it or something?
Try what?
Taking a picture.
Oh, God. No, I don't... I would drop it. I couldn't see a thing, so I leave that up to you. Besides, my glasses will put a mile between my eyes and the camera.
Your sight's that bad?
It's always been bad, but with age it only gets worse.
Too bad you aren't losing your voice. All right, if I show you, will you leave me alone?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Well, my setup is fairly simple today, right? I'm taking black and white shots on a 20mm f2.8 lens.
What does that mean?
The 20mm lens is a wide lens.
Why the wide lens?
You're the one preaching about the ceilings.
Oh, to encompass the enormity of the space.
Yeah, the Tannhäuser lens.
Touche, Mr. Abbott. Now, why do you shoot in black and white?
It's standard.
I thought you said there are no rules.
You, of all people, should appreciate the significance.
Which is...
History, Joey! Black and white gives it more history, more importance.
Watch out, Mr. Abbott, you're slipping. That might be mistaken for reverence.
Well, this is what I do.
Much in the manner that I quote poetry, you argue over the implications of film color. Well, I think people would feel closer to the subject if it was in color.
Tough shit. That's my choice.
Don't worry, Mr. Abbott, I won't tell your avant-garde friends you believe in something.
Who said I didn't believe in anything?
Well, a belief denotes significance.
Don't confuse beliefs with meaning.
Separate the two, I shall forfeit immediately. And I thought that the subject didn't matter to you.
Jesus Christ. What the hell happened to you just wanting to learn?
Ah, so I win.
Wait. How have you won?
You changed the subject. To these aging years, that sounds like defeat. So snap a picture.
What?
Show me how you take a picture. Why don't you snap that shot?
No, show's
Take
over.
the damn shot.
Nice try,
That's why you
Joey.
came- okay,
I told
I'll
you the
take
show's over! Get out of here! The station is gone. Your brother's dead. Me taking pictures can't change that
How
for you.
dare you?
How dare I what, pin you down to reality?
Reality, sir? You know nothing about my reality.
Yeah, same here, pal, so why keep trying? We're never gonna be friends.
You are from top to bottom a heartless
Go be a
Philistine.
creepy professor to some other student who gives a damn!
Congratulations, Mr. Abbott. You will never see me again.
Good evening to you all. An American helicopter from the 68th Assault Helicopter Company crashed in the Quanjiao rubber plantation after pursuing Viet Cong forces. Back home, President Johnson is being prepared to be sworn into his first full term as president. Later this month, President Johnson said he will meet with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to discuss the possibility of appointing the first black cabinet member ever to serve as sitting president. The announcement has sparked outrage among some in the South. Here in New York, the Pennsylvania Railroad reports that the removal of Pennsylvania Station is nearly halfway complete. Within the coming weeks, the superstructure of the new Madison Square Garden will begin to rise from the rubble of the station.
Moloch! 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 Always. Moloch! Moloch, whose mind is pure machine. Moloch, whose blood is running money.
Jesus, come on! I heard there was some nut up here yelling strange shit.
Oh, you knew it was that deranged professor? Bet it gives you great joy to come up here and remove me.
Come on, it's not safe for
Not
you.
safe. Safe for me anywhere nowadays, Mr. Abbott.
I missed your dramatics.
Really? Doesn't show a whole year and nothing. I mean, you just stopped.
Stop what?
You stopped taking photos.
I told you I was done.
Why?
Because I didn't want to take them anymore.
No, I don't believe that. No, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about your photos. I don't care about the station.
Bullshit.
I'm bullshit to you. You're a coward, Mr. Abbott.
All right, listen, Joey. I have had just about all I'm gonna take from you. If you were any other guy, I would have clocked your ass clear across the station by now.
But you haven't, because you're a coward.
Who the hell are you to call me a coward?
A guy you never could give a straight answer to.
Straight answer to what?
Why'd you start taking these photos?
Jesus Christ, Joey, I told you they were for my wife.
I don't believe that.
I don't care what you believe. I don't know you. You don't know me.
You couldn't tell me, so you stopped altogether. You want to know why?
No.
Because you're a coward.
Stop saying that.
Bother you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm not. And being called one by the likes of you makes it even worse.
A whimsical professor with his head stuck in the past?
Whimsical? You're fucking nuts.
Why? Because I cared about your artistic aspirations. I invested a lot of time in you, Mr. Abbott, and you failed.
Invested? You followed me around
You're
like
gonna
a
save
creep.
the station for me. You just stopped.
It never meant anything.
You
I was
lie!
Why would I waste my time lying
Why'd
to
you start taking photos?
All right, you know what? That's it. You want me to call the cops? You're trespassing on private property.
Private property? That's a laugh. A beautiful train station should belong to the people, not to a company. It's a gift to the masses, not a prize contract to a construction company. Most certainly a construction company with my name on it.
What?
Yeah. I'm Joseph Lanza. A company my grandfather started. A company that's kept me comfortable all my life is ripping down this station piece by piece. There's nothing I can do about it.
Except, hope my photos could make up for it.
Yeah, well, a little hope against hope. Oh, I should have realized that would never work. Because you run away from things, Mr. Abbott. You didn't give a damn about the station. You didn't give a damn about your photos because you're a coward who's always running. Surprised you haven't run away from your wife. I'm sure you wanted to.
You son of a bitch!
Go ahead, strike me. Tear enough to do that.
God, I get it now. You're just using me. Go to hell. Coming in here and lording over me with your poetry and your opera. I ain't stupid, Joey. Did you ever stop to think that? Did you ever stop to think that treating me like some dumb high school punk with a bunch of worthless opinions actually feels pretty shitty?
Did you believe that?
Yeah.
It was all in
Well,
jest.
fuck you and fuck your jest. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here!
I apologize. I'm really not a psychopath. I never meant to use you. I just got carried away. You reminded me just so much of Johnny.
Joey. Hey, Joey, stop. Please.
Yes, Mr. Abbott?
I am a coward.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
Given that you punched me, I was going to recant that statement.
You know, you really get under my skin.
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's exactly what I deserve for being such a fool.
It's what you got for being right.
About?
Me. A couple weeks ago, Patty and I... Oh, hey, that's my wife's name, Patty. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, it is. So, Patty, she keeps telling me she wants babies, and I'm thinking to myself, I am not cut out for that. I am not made to be a father. Who the hell am I to be a dad to some kid who's gonna need things like food and clothes?
And love?
So, I'm listening to the news, right? And I keep hearing all this shit about Johnson and Vietnam and how we keep sending troops over to fight the Reds, so I think to myself, I'll enlist. It's a good cause, right? So, I walk down to the recruitment office, and as I'm walking in the front door, I see a guy on the street corner taking a picture of me. Now, I turn right around, and I'm like, hey, buddy, what's the idea? He says, I've been waiting all day for somebody to walk into that office and enlist, and I haven't seen a soul. He said it wasn't our war. We had no business going over there, and as a photographer, he wanted to capture the image of the first chump who thought it was a worthy cause. I asked to look at his camera. Oh, it was a Leica M3. Beautiful piece of machinery. So we're talking, right? And I start asking him about his lenses and how he develops his film. And he says, hey, are you a photographer? I just stood there. I wanted to say yes, but it didn't feel right. Ever since I stopped taking these photos, I felt strange, like there's nothing to me anymore. So I said no. Walked home. Didn't enlist, didn't do anything. I started shooting here because I love the idea of tearing this place down, getting rid of this hideous old dump. Until you came along with your speeches and your history, then I started thinking, oh shit. Maybe I am tearing down something that some guy broke his back 50 years ago to put up. Going home to his kids at night, telling them that Daddy was building something that would last forever. And what would I tell the kid that Patty wanted? That Daddy destroyed something that so many people worked so hard to build? That Daddy was a coward. So I stopped. I guess that's it, Professor. Your student flunked.
You tell your children that their father is a photographer. Because that's what he is. Not a front load driver or a soldier, a photographer.
I just can't
Yes,
do
you can. And don't question it. Most certainly don't go to war. Not this one. Vietnam is not your war. This is.
Hey, what about you?
What about me?
What's your war? Putting the screws to the family business?
Oh, yeah, my grandfather's pride and joy.
You got no say in what they do?
I wanted nothing to do with it. Thought I had higher ideals going into education. Truth is, I couldn't swing a hammer if I tried. My uncle and my father are long gone. My cousins run it. Johnny were here, he'd have a stake in it, but he'd be chipping that marble right beside your Moloch!
Hey, who the hell is this Moloch?
Surely you know Mr. Ginsburg, he's your generation. Moloch! Unhappiness, filth, solitude, ash cans and unobtainable dollars, children screaming under stairways, boys sobbing in armies, old men weeping in parks.
Hey, Joey, why don't you lay off the beats and get yourself home?
Mr. Rabbit, I don't want to go home. I came here today to drown out an incredible sorrow.
Jesus Christ, always with the goddamn sorrow.
No, not the station. This I've come to accept. But I found out today that I'm going blind.
What?
Glaucoma, degenerative, I'm afraid. I always knew it was bad, but never knew it was this serious.
Anything you can do?
Stronger glasses till I'm almost completely blind.
How long?
Doctors couldn't say exactly. Not all too soon, I hope.
You scared?
Beyond words.
Jesus.
Apparently our Lord and Savior can't help. But could I give you a little piece of advice? If by some miracle you want to start taking photos again, you remember that avant-garde art you love to photograph? Well, you don't realize it, but you're very much in your old milieu. The ultimate act of meaninglessness. It's been performing for you, Mr. Abbott. The station. A transit hub in transit. Every day moving one step closer to extinction. You'll never be able to get rid of the space and the light within. And see, that's your problem. You're used to photographing things that exist and then they disappear, but the light's not going anywhere. And the space, well, building all this new garbage around the eternal. So the container may change, but the same space is inside. There's nothing fleeting about that. It's still here. Even when the performer has left the stage. That's your challenge. Capture what remains.
God damn you, Joey.
Clearly I've been damned enough. Don't encourage him to do any more. If I see you, I see you. do apologize. My eyes are a little tired today.
Oh, you can still find me.
Yes, but every month you find deeper recesses to hide in.
And I still can't shake you.
Oh, you're always the wit, aren't you?
Oh, it feels like December today.
Well, it is.
Frickin' Christmas.
And by the chill of the air and the sound of the music, I'd say Christmas is a safe bet.
Yeah, this is a long month.
Somehow I feel the merriment of the season escapes you.
It does.
I bet Patty adores Christmas.
Oh, she loves it.
I think the two of us should meet. We have much in common.
I'm sure.
You know, after all our meetings, I'm still amazed.
At what?
Your stoicism.
Oh, is that what you call it?
That's what the Greeks call it.
What do the Greeks know?
A beautiful answer from a star pupil. Whew.
All right, Joey, what are we outraged by today?
They covered up the clocks.
They covered the clocks months ago.
Why?
To protect them?
From what?
The demolition?
They gonna save them?
I don't know, I haven't heard. The clocks aren't my territory.
Oh, rumor has it they stopped them at 10:53. It was a symbolic gesture. The station was built in 1910 and lived 53 years.
That's a little over dramatic.
It's ceremonious.
The station didn't live, it stood.
Perhaps you're right. I fear, Mr. Abbott, that after all these years on a multi-million-dollar demolition initiative, I may be losing ground in our argument.
What gave you that idea?
The giant arena they're building on top of us?
Oh, do I hear defeat?
Just a little blind resignation. Oh, that machine is much larger than your others.
Well, it's a large view camera.
What does that mean?
It takes a much larger shot. The film is over 2¼ inches long compared to the 35mm I've been shooting on for the last couple months.
Have you developed the film yet?
I've made a couple of contact sheets, but no large prints yet.
Well, what are you going to do with them?
I don't know.
Give them to Patty?
Yeah, if she wants them.
Oh, she will. Well, what else are you going to do with them?
I don't know. Maybe enter them into a couple contests. Try and get them into a gallery if they're good enough.
Maybe a collection, a book?
Get them published?
Yeah, so everyone can see them.
You know how many people are in here doing the exact same thing?
And how do you know that yours aren't better?
I don't. But honestly, who wants to look at 15 different angles of a building being destroyed?
Yeah, but yours are unique. The others are taking photographs of a once beautiful building now in ruin. That's easy. A child can do that. But you're giving us a eulogy. The light mourning over the loss of something that should have been timeless.
I never meant it to be any kind of eulogy. You know? There was this couple that would enter the station at 8:35 on the dot every morning. Holding hands, no papers, no coffees. Dressed for work, but walking in between the shafts of light like they had nowhere to be. Sometimes just staring at each other. Then at 8:42, he would go down to the concourse. She would go out to the street. I'll never forget the day we closed off the arcade at 7th Ave. And we put up a wall of tarps so you couldn't see the busted up waiting room. But through the openings on the side, you could still see the old windows. Well, when that couple entered at 8:35 and saw all those tarps, in less than a minute he was down the stairs and she was right out. No holding hands, no nothing. Joey, I swear to God, at that moment, the light behind those tops dimmed. Next morning, the guy came alone, and it's been that way ever since. And that morning, I got the light. How it interacted with people, how it made them happy. I mean, how much it loved this station. Hey, I owe that to you.
Well, I think it should be a book.
Why? Why should it be a book?
I want to write the foreword to it. What's so funny?
All you would do is talk about the horror of the
There'd
demolition.
be some other things.
Yeah, quotes from stuffy poets.
Perhaps.
You know, that's not my style.
Be a testament to the passion to your photography. I mean, your art.
Yeah, and you'd slip in deep meaning just to piss me off.
Well, at least I get the final word.
Dream on, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna take some more photos while I still got the late afternoon light. You need any help moving around?
Nope, still have a little late afternoon light of my own. But don't leave me here till dark, or they might find me under a pile of rubble.
Yeah, and then we'll haul you off to Jersey with the rest of the station.
Bet you'd like that.
Who would expand my vocabulary?
Well, asked Patty for a dictionary for Christmas.
I wouldn't know how to use it.
I highly doubt that. Oh, speaking of Christmas, I got a gift for you.
Gift?
Yeah.
Come on, what are you, crazy? I got nothing for you.
Christmas isn't tit for tat. I mean, here it is.
Record?
Tannhäuser. Accentuate the grandeur of your photos.
I'm at a loss.
Mr. Abbott, it's not hard. You put it on the turntable, you put the needle down.
You know what I mean.
Of course. But do listen to it. I mean, you might enjoy it. You might not, but in any case, you have it.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I have taken the liberty of contributing this forward to Paul Abbott's collection. True, this may be a job better suited for an architect or even his wife, since the work is dedicated to her. But I was beside him on many of his sessions. I knew the intricacies of his process and the subject he photographed. And now his photos are all that remain of his subject. Pennsylvania Station was a triumph of human engineering. It was designed to be the world's most majestic gateway, a temple to the masses where any traveler could pause for a brief moment and reflect on his own fleeting existence. Often unappreciated, the station fell to the conventions of progress, watching a metal bird take people longer distances, and the automobile bring commuters home down a ribbon of highways. Then came the grime, the rot, and finally the ruin. Enter Paul Abbott, a gifted photographer, often with the great joy of a soot-covered window catching the sun, or sometimes in the quiet pain of a newly broken wall. Every one of his photos became an unsuspecting eulogy as they came to terms with the ecstasy of progress, the age of elegance bowing to the age of plastic. And as the station slowly whittled down to nothing, one could feel the solemn ache of a final departure. After 50 years of service, the station vanished right in front of Paul's lens, leaving only its imprint on the open sky it used to occupy. Thomas Wolfe wrote, "Few buildings are vast enough to hold the sound of time." And there was a superb fitness in the fact that the one that held it better than all others should be a railroad station. For here, as nowhere else on earth, men were brought together for a moment at the beginning or the end of their innumerable journeys. Here, for a single instant, one got the entire picture of human destiny. Paul Abbott captured the meaning of time through the destruction of one of its greatest keepers, whether he likes it or not. Oh, you did it.
What?
What I couldn't do, you saved the station.
Don't be ridiculous.
No, you did good work.
What do you know? You're practically blind.
Learn how to take a compliment.
I never got him that much.
I've been especially hard on you. Paul, Your photos are breathtaking. Anything on your mind?
No.
You're lying.
No, nothing.
Fine.
You always talk, say something.
No.
Come on, make fun of me. Call me illiterate.
No sport in that anymore.
Hey, how are your eyes? No, seriously, I'd like to know.
The same. Heavy cloud hanging over everything, so I live with it.
Well, how does it feel to be retired?
Horrible!
Come on, no more work.
It's the work that I loved.
Yeah, but now you can rest.
Imagine not being able to photograph anything because you can't see your subject. I mean, I can barely read. You know how much that kills me?
Well, you're gonna learn Braille?
I'm trying, but it's so frustrating.
Well, if you get bored, you can tutor Peter in the classics when the time comes. Sure you got them all memorized?
I do.
Of course, you'll have to wait about 14 years.
14 years? No, you gotta start him early.
I'm kidding. If he's anything like his mother, he'll be ready in 4.
I dread the thought of anything else.
Ouch.
I joke.
Yeah.
Are we growing self-conscious?
No.
Do we not need to be seen as...
Stoic?
You remembered.
It's the baby.
Ah, Peter.
Yeah. I mean, like, I really can't believe.
What?
In the last 6 months, I've realized how full everything feels.
Full?
Yeah, like I have something. Like having a child is.
I see.
Do you?
I think. I mean, I never had children, though.
I can't explain it.
Don't try to.
I just feel more than I used to.
What a marvel this child must be.
Oh, he really is.
Oh, I look forward to tutoring him.
I wonder if my father ever felt this.
Can you ask him?
Nah.
Oh, he passed away?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Killed in the war.
I see.
When I was 8, apparently his country needed him more than my mother or sister.
Or yourself?
Yeah.
Was he a patriotic man?
No. Poor. I mean, he was in his 30s, with a family. He was at the bottom of every draft list, but his job barely fed us. The Army was a better opportunity. He could run away from his debts. One night, my mother put us to bed. I woke up the next morning, and he wasn't there. Never saw him again.
So war has ravaged you as well.
My mother, mostly.
How so?
She was forced to work every day of the year just to support us.
Where'd she work?
She worked here.
Here?
Yeah. Here. At the ticket counter. For 15 years. Those machines and the new ticket counter replaced her. I remember coming home from school and there was a note on the refrigerator door. Went to find a job. Be back for supper. She was. She told us when we sat down to eat, your father is dead and we're on our own. We didn't cry. I guess we expected it. From then on, her life was here, shoveling out tickets to irritable commuters. She'd get home at about 6 or 7 o'clock every night, and I would be there to greet her with a smile. Hey, Ma, how was work? It was work. No smile. The station wasn't a marvel to her. She didn't look up at the ceiling and think opera. For her, it was work. Survival. I remember one night my mother came home from work and she didn't say a word to anyone. She just went right into her room. Thought she shut the door all the way. Now my mother was partial to Billie Holiday. Every Sunday night she would put on one of her records and sing along. Yeah, my mom had a great voice, but that night Billie came on and there was no singing. I saw my mother dancing with the air, eyes closed shut, and Billie's voice guiding her. It was a last good moment. She rarely smiled again. Until Peter came. You know, I went up a couple months ago above the ceiling to where the station used to be. All the workers had gone home, so I went into the shell of the waiting room. Nothing but steel work remained. No marble, no concrete, just piles and piles of steel on the ground like an army rolled through. I felt her in the room. I really missed my mother. Even though she's still alive, I missed having her. I just sat there and I kept seeing this image of her wasting her entire life in that ticket booth. And when I came out of it, I looked up and I saw the sky through the steel. The ceiling went on forever, and I thought to myself, oh shit, it's gone. Oh shit, it's gone. So much for me not talking.
I wish I had something to say.
You don't.
No,
No poem to quote?
no. Words escape me.
So, what now?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm done here.
Oh, our visits.
Yeah, we could meet at somewhere else.
Yeah, Grand Central needs saving sooner or later.
Jesus Christ.
What about your job here?
Well, tomorrow I report to my new job downtown.
Oh, taking down the Woolworth building?
Actually, I'm building this time.
Adding, not subtracting. That's progress, Mr. Abbott.
Yeah.
Well, we'll both be on the move. My oncoming blindness, I'll be leaving in a few weeks to live with my cousin in...
In
I can't bear to say it.
where? Where?
New Jersey! Yes, blind and shackled on the lesser side of the river Styx.
Yeah, I got no idea what that means.
It's a long metaphor.
I bet.
Would you help me up for a moment?
Yeah.
Thank you. I brought some flowers for Johnny.
Right here.
Thanks. I assume it's the same floor?
Pretty much.
Good. May I have your hand, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So shall we hit the road?
Tell me, Mr. Abbott, what is this new Penn Station like?
It ain't much.
Describe it.
Well, the ceiling's right above your head.
Describe it. Would it be a roar or a whisper?
Oh, I'm not gonna sing.
Oh, please, for a blind bleeding heart.
I don't know the words.
Of course not, they're in German, just hum.
No, people will hear me.
Who cares?
I do.
Please? Okay, it's okay. Is it that bad?
It's that unimpressive.
Well then, let's leave the ghosts to their graveyard.
It's 84 degrees on this sunny Thursday afternoon, August 25th, 1966. The Pennsylvania Railroad has announced today that after 3 years, the last remains of the former Pennsylvania station have been taken away to their final resting place in the New Jersey Meadowlands. The new updated station, now completely underground, is said to be the most advanced in the world. In other news, the Port Authority has broken ground in Lower Manhattan in what they'd say will be the 2 tallest buildings in the world.